show. I just had something. I had a Easter Bunny Kit Kat. I love the ratio. It's delicious.
A lot of ears?
A lot of ear. I went ear. Yeah. I saved the abdomen and thorax for the next 2 days. I like to, like taper out my candy intake.
Is Kit Kat doing what Reese's peanut butter cups are doing and making shapes for holidays? Kit Kat's never done that before.
I think so. It's right here. It's right here. The Kit Kat Bunny. I really did save the abdomen and the legs for the next couple of days. It breaks apart in 3 nice pieces.
Neat.
Guys, you know what I saw when I came over here before we get into the Big Dumb Post show? I saw another gaggle of geese walking in our parking lot. It's breeding season coming up, and we're about to get attacked by a goose for the entire spring again.
We should put a camera out there to watch the breeding.
Oh, I don't want to watch that.
It's coming up.
Yeah. You ever seen birds do it?
No, I don't think I have.
Walking out of this radio station years ago.
Geese?
No, 2 birds, and they were into it so much they hit my leg. Like they were like flopping around. And as I walked out, I was like, surely they won't hit a human. And they did. They were like,
maybe they were inviting you in.
They hit me right in the leg. I was like, oh, I kind of felt flattered.
What kind of birds? Or like little finches, like little guys?
Little ones, just little ones. But they were really going to town. Yeah.
Crows.
So
crows get freaky.
Don't make it weird. It was done. So, okay, let's talk about Hall of Fame. The what do you call it?
The Video Game Hall of Fame. I was going to look to see what.
I keep wanting to say Nintendo.
What other video games are in the Video Game Hall of Fame? Like, is Mario? I'm assuming Mario Brothers are in the Hall of Fame.
Hands down, had to be the first entry. The original Mario Brothers had to be the first.
Or Pac-Man.
Pong and Pac-Man would be.
Pac-Man.
Did your grandparents have Pong?
Okay, so on the radio today, I said that we weren't allowed to have video games growing up, which is true. But we did have the Pong, which was, the tennis,
It's 2 lines and like a square ball.
We had that.
Do you guys know what Pong is? Everybody in the room know what Pong is?
We had that. So you had
first entries into the Hall of Fame?
I figured.
But I don't count that as a video game because it was just doing this. Like that's nothing.
Like Tetris before Tetris.
No,
you're moving pieces and table tennis.
Trying to keep the ball going. Dun,
yeah, it's absolutely a video game.
This Hall of Fame was created in the 70s.
Pong.
Some of the first entries were Pong, Pac-Man, Asteroids, Space Invader, and Donkey Kong.
So good.
Super Mario Brothers made it in 85.
Right. First, it had to be a first year out kind of thing.
And then things like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat got in 92.
Sub-Zero.
Do you remember, Tracy? Matt, you won't remember. Big Mike, you probably will. Do you remember the Pizza Huts that you would go in and eat, and they would have an area where there was some video games you could play while you waited for your pizza to come?
I should, but I grew up in a town without restaurants.
Okay.
So no, I didn't go to restaurants.
Arcade.
That was one of the best parts of going to Pizza Hut. You knew what was coming. You had like 15, 20 minutes to go play a video game or 2.
I'm sure that was awesome. That would have been right up my alley.
I wouldn't know.
We didn't.
We weren't allowed. We couldn't put money in. We could go over and watch other people play, other kids play.
Why? We would get to go when we would vacation growing up in the little farm town. We would go to the Twin Cities to visit my grandparents, one set of my grandparents, and we would get to go to the knockoff of Chuck E. Cheese. It was called Showbiz Pizza.
Yeah, we had
that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. Like it's
the big gorilla.
The big gorilla. It's terrifying. The cheerleader.
Yep.
Like that. We would get to go there, and that was like my experience with video games. And it was part of our family vacation every summer is getting to go do that. And it was like Donkey Kong was really fun. I loved Pac-Man. When Nintendo came out, of course, every kid, that was the biggest deal of all time.
Super Mario
I don't
Brothers,
remember anything ever being a bigger deal. Like the Cabbage Patch craze, American Girl dolls, never, like Barbie, never. But when Nintendo came out, I don't care if you lived under a rock. You knew Nintendo came out, and we begged and we begged. And my mom, and rightfully so, they didn't have the money for that kind of a thing. And so my grandmother was like, we still have your Pong from when you were a kid. So they tried to sort of pacify you don't get a Nintendo yet, but here's Pong. And like, we pretended we liked it. And then like if friends came over, we hid it. Like we don't want them to even see we have this.
And the setup process, you had to turn it to like channel 3 in order to get it on your TV.
Yes.
God.
So bizarre. So bizarre. So now this year, Angry Birds is nominated, which was such a big game. Like that was so cute.
That was big. I remember Angry Birds.
Really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you play it or like play it with the kids?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Angry Birds
everywhere.
is what? Is it 20 years old?
Yeah. It was so fun. Like playing with any kid or nieces or nephews or whatever it may be. It was so fun. There
was a time after I moved out of the house. So we're talking like late 90s, early aughts. Grand Pursuit, Big Mike, you'd know the racing. Grand Theft Auto was popular. And I had a girlfriend at that time when we would play that and have some cocktails.
Really? Grand Theft Auto?
That was like one of our date nights.
Like,
we would do that.
Kind of
play
dirty?
video games because she had a video game system. And I was like, ooh, I never had one growing up. Let's play video games. And so we'd have some drinks and snacks and do Grand Theft Auto.
And you'd steal cars together?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
it's a real turn on.
Nice. Yeah. That was always a tough one for like, I joked on the show today that my mom, when the game Kung Fu came out.
I don't know that game.
It was just a karate game and we saved up like a ton of money, like to go buy this game. Me and my brother and sister chipped in to go buy this Nintendo game. And we had to drive like an hour to a store that would sell that kind of stuff. And we bought Kung Fu. We decided on Kung Fu and got it home. And it had pixelated blood. If you were to do like a
karate
what would
chop.
a kick? Yeah, like a big high kick on the other person and hit him in the face. It had blood, and it did not go over well with my mom when she realized that it had blood. Wanted to return it at the store.
Violent?
Oh, a violent game, and you're like, oh man.
Is your mom the reason there are ratings now on video games?
I think
because of your mom.
Our mom combined was a force. And what's so funny is they were both very conservative, like ideas of like no video games. The music you listen to has to be okay. We grew up in the church, and look at us.
I know.
We're the worst.
We're the worst.
Oh my God. I mean, we're good people.
Deep down.
Yeah.
Thanks,
deep
Mom.
down. Surface-wise, garbage. But we never had to, like I had to when the kids were growing up, the one you just brought up, you look at Joey, my son Joey, who's 20, he's 22, Grand Theft Auto. That's Kung Fu. Yes.
What happens when you go upstairs?
Enemy.
Oh my God, this is bringing me way back.
Hey, Mike, what was one of the biggest?
Make him bleed.
What was one of the biggest fighting games back in the day? Like
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Street Fighter, Tekken.
That's it, Street Fighter. We would go on our lunch breaks in high school. We would go to this place. It was a pool hall that also had video games. We would grab like $1 Big Mac from McDonald's, walk next door, and I would watch my friends play Street Fighter because I was like, nope, my mom won't let me play.
Did you tell your friends your mom won't let you play?
No.
You would just be like, I'm good.
I'd be like,
Okay.
no, I'm good. I'm happy watching you play.
Okay,
I thought I was going to hell at that point.
But as a parent, the idea you're hanging out at a freaking pool hall
for lunch during
for
lunch.
lunch.
Yep.
How many chain smokers
Oh,
were
God.
in that
Yes.
place
Yep.
catching an 11 a.m. buzz, being like, the high schoolers are coming over.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Opened up at like, probably 11 every day. We'd be
Oh
the
my
first ones there
God.
playing video games after we just pounded a Big Mac in the parking lot.
I love this so much. I was not kidding either, because I know you grew up the same way of like, when these games came out, our parents were probably truly worried
Yes.
about like
It
Nintendo.
was new technology.
Very much like when TikTok came in, and we've had conversations on and off the air as parents of like, okay, AJ wants Snapchat.
Yeah.
Remember that one? And it
Yeah.
was like, oh God. I'm sure they were terrified when this came out. On the same hand, they were like, don't sit in front of the TV. It'll rot your eyes out. But go outside where all of you in this little town have a BB gun and you just run around till the street light comes on. Like that was the safer bet growing up.
Absolutely. At least you're outside getting exercise.
That's right.
The
That's
TV's
right.
going to rot your brain.
You know what, though? I would take that upbringing any day.
Yeah.
I would take it any day.
Totally.
When you played Goonies all day because that's
Yep.
what you lived.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh my God. So Angry Birds, you deserve a good spot. I'm going to hold it down
Frogger.
for Frogger too. That sounds like a lot of fun. You guys have a good day.